Happy birthday to Mommy's lung.
Every year, we celebrate my lung's birthday because it's another opportunity to just celebrate life, because essentially getting the organ transplant was a second life.
Happy birthday to you.
Being a teacher, you're there for everybody else's kids, and I wanted to put my child first and create those memories where I was there to see, the first time he was crawling and just being there for him every step of the way.
Which picture is that of?
Truthfully, I had no idea what was about to happen. I tested positive for COVID. I remember standing up because I really wanted to take a shower, and that's when I had passed out.
There wasn't really a good plan at the hospital she was admitted to initially.
They put me on their one ECMO machine that they had and said, well, we'll just kind of hope for the best, but it's not looking good.
They let me come into the hospital at that point, and I can't even see her or touch her hand. They're telling me that she's going to die.
I think that's when Phil kind of took over and said, if you can't help her, we need to get her somewhere where they can help her.
So I started making calls to different hospitals, and one of my family members said, give Penn Medicine a call.
We try as hard as we can to save people who are salvageable. They should not die at a hospital that doesn't have the resources. When a call like Brianna's comes in, it can be day or night on weekdays or weekends.
Last night I was reading a book to my son at bed. I get a call and he'll say, do you have to take off? It sort of pervades into your personal life, but it's an honor to get to take care of these patients.
They couldn't transport her by ambulance because she was too critical. It put her in high risk of not making it on that travel.
The ability to go and rescue patients wherever they are and bring the ICU to them really expands access to all patients. It's someone's life that you're deciding to save.
That helicopter ride was life or death.
Brianna came to us and we had put her on ECMO, respiratory support.
It's kind of the last level of support that we have to offer patients when they're that sick. I think in the past, the conception was that these critically ill patients need to be sedated, but we've learned that we can safely have patients awake doing physical therapy, even proning patients that are on ECMO.
She was waking up. She was on an exercise bike. She was able to communicate some basic needs. But the longer you stay on ECMO, there's a lot of risks of complications. Her ECMO catheter started shutting down. It's kind of like a fuse, like on a ticking time bomb. That fuse was like down to hours. I remember when I talked to Phil, we had quoted him like an 80 to 90% chance of her dying on the table. But I hadn't given up. We had a really comprehensive game plan to save her, and it miraculously worked.
And when he came out and he said, we did it, I ran over and we just gave each other a hug. All this weight kind of came off of my shoulders. I just could not believe that it actually worked. We have an actual chance here.
Over the course of 6 to 8 weeks, we recognized that her lungs were beyond repairable. And so we switched our strategy to try to get her lung transplantation.
With this type of extreme illness, there's no cookbook being here at a transplant center. We have the ability to change courses to really consider transplant, which not everyone has.
Having every specialty under one roof meant the team could pivot quickly to give Brianna her best chance at survival.
I'm not sure that I even really understood fully what I had gone through. I believe I was on the ECMO for about 90-something days.
There was just battle after battle for her to get over the hump.
I remember feeling utterly hopeless, that I was never going to get to the point where I would feel like myself again. And the nurses and doctors had so much patience with me.
Y'all breathe.
They're like, you got this. We know you're gonna live a full and complete life. And just giving me a hug that felt so genuine. It felt like I really, truly mattered.
You have to have people who are doing it because they want to help save people.
When I told my doctors I wanted to go back to the classroom, they kind of looked at me like I was crazy in the beginning. And I said, you don't understand. This is part of me, and this will help me feel normal. Here I am again. I made it.
She sends me pictures of her son, Brayson, all the time. And it's just so nice to see, like, you know, this is why we do what we do.
For 6 months that we battled to not even know if she was going to make it, and to have her back is just incredible.
The time that they have given me is just priceless. I cannot say thank you enough for the fact that I am able to just see milestones in my son's life, my husband's life, because I'm there, and I almost wasn't.